This story is a unique story of a gorilla and a virgin girl of the village. How the gorilla stops every upcoming marriage of a girl, and how the gorilla traps the girl in his net and impregnates her and leaves her in the jungle. This story is going to be very interesting. You will enjoy listening to the whole story. There was a small village named Franklin situated on the edge of a dense forest. The life of this village was full of simplicity. The houses were on paved roads and greenery all around. But the villagers were always afraid of the jungle hidden in the midst of this greenery. Many stories were popular about the jungle. Some said that ghosts lived there, while some said that wild animals ate many villagers. These scary stories had filled everyone's mind from children to elders. The village head, whom everyone called Thomas, used to narrate these stories in an exaggerated manner. He used to tell the villagers to stop them from going to the jungle. If you go to the jungle, you will never come back. There is only death there. But despite this fear, there was a girl who was always curious about the jungle. Her name was Sophia. 18-year-old Sophia was different from the rest of the girls of the village. The rest of the girls were busy in household chores. Sophia used to keep looking at the forest for hours. Sophia had a habit of asking questions since childhood. Her mother often used to tell Sophia not to ask too many questions. Girls do not need to think too much. But Sophia was not one of those who believed. She wanted to know what was there in the forest that everyone was afraid of it. People in the village used to look at Sophia with strange eyes. They used to call her stubborn and strange. But Sophia did not care about anyone. Her biggest wish was to go to the forest and know its secrets. Sophia always felt drawn towards the forest. In the morning, when the first rays of the sun fell on the forest, she used to gaze at it for hours. At night, when strange sounds came from the forest, Sophia used to look out of the window and wondered whether these sounds were of animals or something else. She often used to tell her best friend Amelia, "You see, one day I will go to that forest." Amelia used to say in fear, "Don't be mad, Sophia. Thomas has said that ghosts live there." Sophia used to smile and answer, "Ghosts and spirits are nothing, these are all stories to scare." One day, a meeting was held in the village. Thomas announced that the peace of our village can be maintained only when we stay away from the forest. No one is allowed to go there. Sophia said with courage, "But how will we know whether the forest is really dangerous or not, unless we go there?" The villagers started looking at her in surprise. An old man said, "Girl, this is the word of elders, do not challenge us." Sophia became silent, but she had decided that she will definitely go to the forest. The previous night Sophia looked at the forest from the window of her house. It was a moonlit night and the shadows of the trees in the forest looked mysterious. Sophia decided that she will not wait any longer and will go to the forest the next morning. Waking up early in the morning, she kept roti, water and some herbs in her small basket. Her mother asked, "Where are you going so early in the morning?" Sophia lied and said that she is going to the fields with Amelia. Her mother looked at her with suspicious eyes but said nothing. Sophia slowly crossed the boundary of the village and started moving towards the forest. There was both fear and excitement in her heart. As soon as she stepped into the forest, Sophia felt a strange smell. This smell was of wet soil and leaves. There were tall trees all around whose branches were so entangled that even sunlight was hardly able to come inside. Sophia started walking slowly. She started to see something new at every step. Somewhere a colorful bird was singing, and somewhere there was some rustling in the bushes. "How beautiful is this forest?" She said nothing, but as she moved forward the forest became denser. She felt that along with beauty it was a little scary too. Every sound was making her more alert. While walking, Sophia saw that she had come quite far from the village. She looked here and there and thought that now there is no way to return, I will have to move forward. Then suddenly some loud sounds came from the bushes. Sophia stopped, her heart started beating loudly. Maybe it is some animal. She thought that despite fear she moved towards the bushes. She saw a small deer which was trying to run away. Seeing the deer, she felt relieved. I am going crazy, I am considering everything dangerous, she explained to herself. After roaming in the forest for a few more hours, Sophia started feeling tired. She sat under a tree, took out roti from her basket and started eating. Then she again heard a movement in the bushes, but this time the sound was loud and heavy. It did not seem to be of any small animal. Sophia looked carefully towards the bushes and saw that a big deer was standing near the tree. The gorilla was coming out. The gorilla was about 6 feet tall. His eyes were shining and he was moaning in pain. Sophia stepped back in fear. It was the first time she had seen such a big animal. The gorilla also looked at Sophia. He took a few steps towards her, but there was innocence on his face. Sophia saw that the gorilla's leg was bleeding. Maybe he was hurt by a hunter's net. The gorilla looked at Sophia and slowly sat down. He was moaning, but there was something in his eyes that gave Sophia the courage to go near him despite being scared. Sophia took out the herbs kept in her basket and thought, maybe I can help him. The gorilla looked at her growling, but then became quiet. He did not try to stop Sophia. Sophia cleaned the injury on his leg and bandaged it with herbs. While doing this, her hands were trembling, but the gorilla did not hurt him. Sophia gave her leftover bread to the gorilla. The gorilla first sniffed it and then ate it. Sophia was happy to see that he was not considering her as his enemy. You are really not scary. People think wrongly about you, Sophia said, as if the gorilla could understand her. The gorilla looked at her and slowly came closer to her. Sophia realized for the first time how innocent and simple this huge animal of the jungle was. After spending some time with the gorilla, Sophia realized that the sun was about to set. She had forgotten the way back. The gorilla looked at Sophia and made her feel safe with his presence. Sophia thought that maybe I can spend the night here. This gorilla will not harm me. Throughout the night, Sophia heard the sounds of the jungle and saw the gorilla sitting near her. She realized for the first time that the things that scare us are not necessarily bad. After spending the first night in the jungle, Sophia felt the cool morning breeze. The light rays of the sun were filtering through the trees. Sophia saw that the gorilla was still sitting nearby, as if protecting her. You really won't harm me, will you? Sophia said, smiling. The gorilla looked at her and then plucked a fruit from a nearby tree and handed it to her. This was his first gesture of giving something to Sophia. Sophia gave the fruit to her. I took it and ate it. Maybe we can become friends, said Sophia. Sophia observed the gorilla carefully. There was a strange innocence in his gait, his expressions and his eyes. She walked slowly towards the gorilla and saw the bandage on his wound. The gorilla did not protest. Sophia felt that he had started trusting her now. After some time, the gorilla started taking her deeper into the jungle. Sophia was a little scared at first, but then she started walking with him. On the way, the gorilla showed her fruits by plucking them from the tree and saved her from danger many times. Now an unspoken dialogue started developing between Sophia and the gorilla. The gorilla tried to explain something to Sophia through his expressions and gestures. Sophia slowly started understanding his gestures. One day, the gorilla pointed him towards a big tree where many birds were making their nests. Are you showing me something like your home? Sophia asked. The gorilla nodded as if he could understand. This dialogue was deepening their relationship. Sophia spent the next few days with the gorilla in the jungle. She started understanding many mysteries of the jungle. She saw how the gorilla lived with other animals in the forest. The gorilla protected her from places where there were snakes or other dangerous animals. The gorilla showed Sophia the fruits and herbs of the forest that were worth eating. Sophia realized that the gorilla was not just an animal, he was very intelligent and sensitive. During the days spent in the forest, Sophia started missing her village. She realized that she had come very far and the villagers must be looking for her by now. I should go back, she said to the gorilla one day. The gorilla looked at her as if he understood her. Sophia realized that the gorilla did not want to stop her, but he was not ready to leave her. Sophia decided to return to the village. The next day she explained to the gorilla, "You have to stay here. The villagers will not understand you." But when she started walking out of the forest, the gorilla followed her. Sophia tried to stop the gorilla. When she reached near the border of the village, "You have to stay here. If the villagers see you, they will get scared." The gorilla looked at her as if he understood her. He stopped there, but sadness was clearly visible in his eyes. After returning to the village, Sophia's behavior changed. She would often sit alone and look towards the jungle. She would not talk to anyone much. The villagers started noticing this change. An old woman said that Sophia was not in her right mind. Thomas also said that this girl had gone to the jungle. Something must have gone wrong. Sophia's parents also questioned her. "What did you go to see in the jungle? What happened there?" Sophia just said, "Nothing, mother, I am fine." But the mystery hidden in her eyes was bothering everyone. The gorilla in the jungle was also missing Sophia. He recognized Sophia's smell and slowly reached the border of the village. One day, some children of the village saw Austin near the jungle and came to the village in fear and told that a big animal is coming from the jungle towards the village. Hearing this, there was panic in the village. Thomas immediately announced that this is not an ordinary animal. It is the scourge of the jungle which has come to harm our village. We have to finish it. When Sophia heard the villagers talk, she got scared. She understood that the villagers were planning to kill Austin. She told her parents to stop them. "That animal is not harming anyone." Mother said in anger, "You keep quiet, this is the work of grown-ups. You don't know anything." Sophia asked her friend Amelia for help. "Amelia, I have to go to the jungle. I have to save him." Amelia said in fear, "You are mad, Sophia. If the villagers come to know that you are on his side, they will not spare you either." But Sophia ran towards the jungle without caring for anyone. Sophia found the gorilla near the jungle. The gorilla roared happily on seeing her and moved towards her. Sophia hugged him and said, "Why did you come here? You are in danger from the villagers." Gorilla did not understand her, but his eyes reflected affection for Sophia. Sophia tried to take him back to the jungle, but then the voices of the villagers were heard. The villagers reached near the jungle with weapons. They started attacking the gorilla. As soon as they saw him, the gorilla tried to run away to save himself, but he could not go far. Thomas shouted and said, "Kill him, he is a danger to our village." Sophia came in between and shouted, "Stop, he will not harm you, he is my friend." The villagers were shocked. Thomas said in anger, "You are supporting this animal, it is a scourge of the jungle." Sophia showed courage and said, "It is not a scourge, it is just an animal that understands love and care. I had seen it in an injured state and had helped it. It will never harm me." The villagers were not ready to believe Sophia at first. They surrounded the gorilla, but the gorilla did not attack anyone. Seeing its calm walk and the scene with Sophia, some villagers said that maybe it is not really bad. But Thomas felt his strength challenged. He did not want the villagers to listen to Sophia. He secretly signaled his men and said, "Take it out of the jungle. It is a danger here." Thomas and his men started preparing to attack the gorilla. Sophia saw this and said to the gorilla, "You have to run away. These people will not understand you." The gorilla, understanding Sophia, ran towards the jungle. Sophia tried hard to stop the villagers, but she lost in front of Thomas's stubbornness. The gorilla ran away into the jungle, leaving Sophia behind. It was not easy for him to go. Sophia saw him going from a distance and tears started flowing from her eyes. She thought to herself, "I will see you again. This is a promise." The villagers thought that they had averted the danger, but Sophia knew that the king was never a threat to them. After the gorilla ran away into the jungle, there was emptiness in Sophia's life. She looked towards the jungle every day and hoped that maybe the king would return again. She stopped talking to her parents and kept a distance from the villagers. There was always sadness in her eyes. One day Amelia said to her, "Sophia, why are you living like this? He was just an animal. Forget him." Sophia said in a low voice, "He was not just an animal. He was my everything. He understood me when no one understood. He became my everything with the gorilla. His child is now in my womb." Friends, the rest of the story is part 2.